Good morning in Australia and afternoon and evening over in the US of A. welcome once again to Magic Partners Live. I'm John from D News Jam. Right next to me is Chase from DisneylandToday.net. And next to him is Bryan from Bryan's Magic Life. Here we are again, guys. How has your week been? How's the Disney week been this week?
It's been a fun week.
It's been a fun week. Awesome.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Exciting and busy.
Every time I think we're not going to have enough to talk about, Disney proves me wrong. So today we're going to try and fit it all inside an hour once again, which is incredibly difficult for us because we do like to blab on about Disney. So hopefully you stay with us and everything goes to plan. So, first of all, we're going to go over to the happiest place on earth, which is Disneyland, and we are going to talk about the fact that Avengers Campus is opening very soon, and we're going to get a live event happening on 2nd of June at 8:15 p.m. So, I'm taking that everybody here is going to be watching the event. We're hoping for a few guest stars, that sort of thing. So really looking forward to that. What I wanted to do is I just wanted to go over to DisneylandToday.net. I wanted to talk about a few things that we missed out on last week, Chase. Namely, is this web slinger new gauntlet and that you can wear on the ride, and now we've got this amazing video thanks to a vlogger out there at Disneyland of the actual piece that fits on your arm. And talk us through sort of pricing here that we know is on DisneylandToday.net, and also how it works and all that sort of thing, Chase. And I'll sort of try and keep up with you with the video.
All right. So in this case, they're demonstrating the Iron Man wristband.
Yeah.
And this one is it's really cool. Of course, that looks like Tony Stark's design, and you've got the red and gold, and it does light up and all that kind of stuff. It's once you click it into place, that's what powers it up, and you can see on the back here, it'll show you'll see the jack that it plugs into the power band.
Yep.
And so you have the two pieces, and the power band, the basic one, the main part of the gauntlet, is given to you on the ride. So that's what you're going to be wearing if you don't buy the upgrade. In this case, if you want to play with this at home, because you can use it on a play mode, there you see the power band. That black part is what they're going to give you on the attraction. And then if you want to buy the upgrade, you have to buy your own power band. So I believe the power band is $29.99, and the upgraded piece, either the Spider-Man gauntlet or the Iron Man gauntlet, those are $24.99, so about $25 and $30. So and yeah, so you can get the two colors for each. You can get the blue and white, the pink and white, the red and gold, blue and gold. So I figured it's probably Peter, Gwen, Tony, and then Pepper. And so yeah, we've got there the $29.99 for the power band, and the attachments are $24.99 each. You can take it home and play with it, and it does have lights and sound. And the Iron Man gauntlet has a little fan in it, so you can play with these little training spheres. And on the Spider-Man gauntlet, it fires a little web. So there's a little web piece in there that when you hit the button, the strike button, it shoots out this little web.
So yeah, really great technology. And what we talked about last week was that, when Galaxy's Edge first opened, we did talk about the fact that, you know, some of the things that we were sort of expecting wouldn't happen. And you had mentioned to me that you thought that you didn't want to expect too much for an Avengers campus. And I was kind of thinking with things like this, which are really amazing and interactive, they might have stepped it up a notch, and that we could cautiously be excited about what we can sort of expect in Avengers Campus moving forward. Because, you know, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Chase and Bryan? You know, do you think they may have learned a few lessons from Galaxy's Edge, and you know, we're going to see more immersiveness, if that's a word, in Avengers Campus?
I really hope so. I was kind of bummed when we didn't get the immersiveness that we were, you know, promised with Galaxy's Edge. So I think they may have learned, you know, their I guess their mistakes from their mistakes, lack of better words there. You know, this is something that's probably on par with kind of like what they, you know, announced for Galaxy's Edge, you know, the Star Cruiser Hotel with the lightsaber, I would say. So yeah, and it's going to be available right at opening. That's awesome. It didn't take them, you know, a couple years to come up with it.
And the pricing's quite reasonable too. It's not costing you an arm and a leg. Yeah. I mean, if you compare
that... Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah. I mean, if you compare something like that to, you know, something, you know, in regards to Savi's lightsaber or something like that, you know, it's a fraction of the price of what you're paying there. So, you know, 10 points to him. I look, personally, I'm excited to see the opening. I think it is going to be extremely immersive. There's lots of things that they haven't really revealed to us yet that I think are going to really surprise us when it does open. Yeah, so, you know, look. Go ahead, Chase, sorry.
I think this I was going to say, I think the one of the things I'm most excited to see is how any effects or, you know, lighting, sound play out with the Ancient Sanctum for Doctor Strange. That show, I think, is going to be absolutely fascinating, because I love just what they did with, you know, the Jedi Training Academy. Those kids were so cute. And I think we're going to see the same sort of thing here. So I'm kind of wondering what the effects will be, because it's mostly him teaching. It would have him teaching the motions, like how to do the different motions for his spells. And so I think that will be really, really incredible. And, you know, I got to see this Stuntronic. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see, and I'm sure that'll be live. I bet you anything they'll have, you know, the Spider-Man Stuntronic pulled out. But one thing I mentioned in originally is that the Avengers Campus seems to have a lot more physical, you know, I can touch it, I can hold it promises than Avengers Campus, which, you know, makes all the difference, because it says, here's the technology. We're giving you the technology to take, to buy, to have. You don't need to have it, but it is a fun little upgrade. It's going to be cool. It'll make the experience even that much more amazing. So rather than, you know, oh, it's going to be cool, someone's going to stop you and say, oh, you did a terrible job on Millennium Falcon. It's, you know, I'm taking this out of your credits. And it's like, okay. It's like, you know, it's like a walk by Kylo Ren, like, hey, please notice me.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more tangible to have something you can physically give people than having, you know, somebody come up to you when you're eating or drinking and it be totally awkward.
Yeah, look, I have to say that Galaxy's Edge has got better as we've gone along. You know, slightly. And I think that the hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser that's coming to Disney World is going to be a very immersive experience. So I think I don't think they're leaving it alone. I think it'll get better and better. You know, so, you know, when personally I visited Galaxy's Edge, I could still spend the whole day there without trouble. So in that respect, yeah. So in that respect, I think they've done a really good job, and I'm really happy with Galaxy's Edge. It's just that we were disappointed by a few things that we didn't get from the start. But I'm guessing they're going to work on that. Before we leave Avengers Campus, go ahead, Chase.
I was just going to mention really quick that we do have to mention the kind of a little bit of a downside to this, and that is that we now know that web slingers will be on the same reservation system for boarding as Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
And
right.
With that, you'll have a 7 a.m. and you'll have a 12 p.m. boarding group attempt. But you cannot do both at the same time. So you will have to choose which one you want to do, either for I haven't heard yet whether it's for the day or whether or not you have to use the first boarding group and get on either Rise or Web Slingers before you can do the other one. But it might be too late by then because you may have... So it's like you have to pick for the day which one do you want to see more. And I personally think that it gives people a better chance to go on Rise of the Resistance who haven't, like me, and to get on it instead of waiting, to see Spider-Man. I can wait to see Spider-Man, but I really want to go on Rise of the Resistance. It's been driving me crazy.
Well, a lot of people have called it the best ride in the world, so that's understandable. Right, so just moving on, just quickly wanted to touch on Pims Kitchen because we sort of got into it a bit last week, but we didn't get all the way. So just quickly moving over, so the whole gist of this restaurant is big and small because we're shrinking food down and we're making it big as well. And we got a menu released and we talked about it a little bit last week. It looks delicious. We got a breakfast and a lunch and dinner menu, and some themed drinks as well. So, looking really good. It looks like it's going to be a tasty place to have lunch or have breakfast in the morning. So thanks for posting, all the menu items, on the site.
And that's not even all of them.
No. Okay.
That's not even all of them. Some of them aren't on there. These are just the ones that are pictured.
Yeah.
It's a very extensive menu. But I just, from what I wanted to touch on there is that the quantum, it's a mouthful, quantum Pimini. And that is the sandwich that is $100. It's $99.99.
Oh, let me go.
But what do you have to pay attention to? Yeah, so you can see the picture on there. There's on the left, that is the quantum panini. And you have to make sure you're ordering the right thing because that will cost you a pretty penny. It's $100, but it feeds 6 to 8 people.
$100.
So
that's what I said. That's what I said last week.
So it's like buying, like a 6 foot sub. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's the most expensive sandwich in the world. But I mean, if you want the regular one, which is like anywhere from like $12.99 or whatever, $14.99, that's the Pimini right there. That little slice of delicious sandwich.
Yeah.
And so that's the regular one if you just want to have a simple lunch. But if you want to feed your whole party, then get the Quantum Pimini. And but yeah, the food looks awesome. The drinks look awesome. And then of course in that same building, you'll have the test kitchen, and then you'll also have the tasting lab, which is where they have the alcoholic drinks. So for you who just want a little bit something with a nice little kick to it for your afternoon, that's where you would go. I believe they're in the same building. It's kind of just partitioned off as they do, and you can go over to one side or the other to order your non-alcoholic beverages and your alcoholic beverages.
Awesome. So, so just wanted to touch on that with Avengers Campus. And let's stay in Disneyland now and move over to out-of-state visitors being welcomed next month. So finally we can have out-of-state visitors in the park. Love this photo. Yeah. Well, basically, you've got to try and so how's it going to work? How much do you know about out of state visitors, Chase, inside Disneyland? How's it going to work?
Okay, so basically by the 15th, there is going to be no more color tier system. So the red, orange, yellow, all of that's down, and they'll be able to welcome out-of-state guests. They won't, at this point, most likely they won't ask for ID anymore. Temperature checks are also going away, so they won't check your temperature anymore. They haven't said anything on whether masks will still be outdoors and indoors, which is what it is right now for Disneyland.
Yeah.
But now they've been working with since they got into the yellow tier, they've been about 30 to 35% capacity. Yeah. They're saying by then it could be, who knows, they may move it up to 50% capacity. There's a lot we don't know about it other than they're just going to let everybody start coming in. And people who want to be there on that date can already order now. You can order up to 120 days in advance to plan your vacation.
Yep.
So if you want to, for me, I'm going to try and be there for my birthday, which is in August. So I hope I can come to you guys live or at least have some video for you about being there, because I want to see Avengers Campus. I want to see, hopefully get on Rise of the Resistance. I want to be back in my happy place.
Yeah. That's going to be fantastic. We'll definitely be doing a live show there, so stand by for that one. Chase live in Disneyland for the first time in 2 years, probably by then.
Almost, yeah.
and by then we should be seeing the Jungle Cruise reopening as well.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to this, because we've had some little updates here to the Jungle Cruise, and we've just this week, in the last couple of days, been told that we're going to see it first in Disneyland, and also over the summer it will be coming to Disney World as well, which is quite exciting. We see here some new concept art that they've brought out. Are you guys excited about this? What do you think's, are you going to miss anything that they're taking out of it? Are you looking forward to anything that's coming into the ride? What are your guys' thoughts on what's going on with the Jungle Cruise?
Hopefully some new jokes.
Yeah, we have had the same jokes for a long time. So new jokes will be
funny.
No.
But having some new, maybe sprinkled in with some of the old, hopefully, that would be. Be a nice balance.
Yeah, we don't
and
definitely.
I'm just excited to see all the new updates, like the gift shop there at the end. I know they dropped it into place over here in Walt Disney World. I don't think it's uncovered yet or anything, but they've dropped it into place. So
right, yep, awesome. And Chase, what about yourself? What are you looking forward to with Jungle Cruise? Hoping to see you on it, by the way, when you go down in August.
Right? I'm super excited. I remember when they added just little things, like if you didn't pay attention, you probably wouldn't notice them, but the piranhas that are, I remember when they first came in there and I'm like, oh, that's new. Yep. It was like, so they have like all these crazy swimming piranhas, and that was really neat when they added those. So I think these being much bigger changes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see all of the skippers that are caught in the attraction, by the rhino. So that piece of concept art was amazing. But I think the overall backstory for the Jungle Cruise is just fascinating. And it would be really, really cool if they replaced, Trader Sam with an animatronic of Alberta Falls. I think that would be, if they could put her in there, it would be just like having Captain Red added to Pirates of the Caribbean. Her being there would be super neat to see, because they mention her so many times in the backstory. It's like, why wouldn't you have her on the attraction? So it would be super neat to see that. And yeah, I'm so pumped about this and seeing all the changes.
Yeah, and the other thing that's opening over in Disneyland is the Matterhorn. I'm not sure of a date just yet, but it is going to open real soon.
July 2nd.
Thank you very much.
July 2nd.
Disneyland Master. So that's really good to know because, you know, there were a few rumors that things weren't going too well with the structural integrity of the Matterhorn. So they've obviously worked that one out, which I'm really happy about.
What happened is the entire structure, the inner structure is wood. And that's a big problem because it's starting to deteriorate. It's that's where we've seen, you know, pieces coming off and, you know, we saw a big hole in it as they were working on it. So they've had to reinforce these supports on the inside because what they said is that this ride would not be able, if you took it down and tried to rebuild it, you wouldn't be able to do it again because when the park opened in 1955, this was the zoning. The zoning of the Matterhorn is at its maximum. The zoning now, in order to build it like it would be now, it would have to take up twice the room. So you'd probably have to get rid of a couple Fantasyland attractions, Fantasy Dark rides, just to build the Matterhorn to scale as it would be allowed now. So it's either all or nothing. We either fix it now or you'd have to get rid of it completely if it fell apart because there's no rebuilding it. So it would be impossible to rebuild the Matterhorn.
Yeah, so fantastic to have it back. And, you know, great news to see it again. And glad that a little bit of Disney magic again brings back one of our favorite attractions. The next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go over to Disney World. And we had a bit of a commercial come out this week. And it is for the 50th anniversary of Disney World.
Very magic.
This looks great. Fantastic. The way that they're going to reimagine the parks. I believe this is in October when it starts, Brian.
Yes, October 1st.
Yep. And what I wanted to do is kind of go over to your vlog from last week. And just have a look at what's going on with the castle and also, you know, discover some new merchandise that's around. But I just wanted to focus in, first of all, on your castle look because I was astounded at how good the castle is looking right now. Look at that. I mean,
it's so amazing.
So beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they should just keep it like that. It looks so incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the paint that's underneath it looked good as it was. Now to just add all these, and I believe it's still not over yet. They're still coming back to, you know, doing a few things. Yet on the castle, I think there's going to be some sort of emblem on the front.
The big 50. Bump, like, and basically right over the clock is where that's going to go.
Yep. And also in the vlog, you mentioned that there was a lot of new merchandise available in the parks.
Stuff I hadn't seen. So this pizza
Magic bands.
I'm not sure if that's new or if it's just something I haven't seen. I
yep.
feel like it's new though.
Yep. And you know, walking around the parks as well, they look like they just kind of even back to normal with the outdoor mask mandates now.
Definitely.
You know, and the crowd levels look like they're kind of returning.
And these are the new weighted plushies that can help with, you know, anxiety, help people with a whole bunch of different disorders to just help them, you know, stay calm or even help them get to sleep because they're weighted. So
how do you mean they're weighted? They're heavy or they're heavy? Okay. Yeah.
I think they're 2.5 pounds each.
Yep. It's a new look, but it's a very cute look, isn't it? Very, very cute.
It is.
Yeah.
Look at how
they're adorable.
I want to hug one.
and that's great, and some stuff over here as well. Some new Indiana Jones
Yeah,
that I haven't
Indiana
seen.
Jones. Like, I'm not sure that's new. It's just I think they moved it to a different part of the shop.
Okay.
But
Yep.
yeah, I don't think it's new, or maybe this size is new. But yeah, then you have some of the Pride merchandise. You got some decals and magnets, and then it'll go forward, and you'll see a lot more Pride merchandise. Pride Month is coming up in June.
Do they carry the Pride merchandise after the month is over? Like, do they wait till it's all sold before they remove it, or is it only for the month of June?
Yeah, generally. Yeah, I've seen it there. I can't say last year because last year, it weren't really open during Pride Month. But the year before that, yeah, they still had it well after. For the merch that didn't sell out, that is, because obviously that community is huge and they love their merchandise, especially the stuff Disney comes out with them. So like you'll see a Magic Band in there; those typically go pretty quickly. There's a Loungefly, not this Loungefly, there's a different Loungefly, with some Pride stripes and Mickey on it. It's really cute, actually. Just a whole bunch. But yeah, they, as far as I know, they don't typically pull it. They wait a good while to try to sell as much of it as they can if there's any left. And I think usually I think I've seen some of that Pride merch go over to the character warehouse from time to time, but it's just like the really small things.
Okay. Yep.
So, like, for instance, like like some of the leftover Magic Bands, but that won't be for a while if they ever go over there. It usually takes a while.
Yep. Fantastic. So there's a lot of stuff there. I do keep up with the merchandise, but there's a lot of stuff there that's new. So that's really good.
Yeah, I really like the summer collection this year.
Yeah. And we're kind of moving after summer, moving on to Halloween and Christmas then. So, and that will come out before we know it. In fact, I probably think, Chase, that when you go in August, you'll probably see Halloween merch by then. I reckon.
Oh, most likely.
Maybe. Usually it's more like September. But I'm hoping that, there's going to be some, I'm hoping that they do something for Halloween rather than just, decorate but we haven't heard anything yet of whether they're going to have any events or what's going on. By October, I'm guessing things will be pretty back to normal. With the way that this is going, Disneyland is able to do things quite a bit more quickly than Walt Disney World, only because I think they were closed so long. So you're just now getting to the point where you can take masks off and everything. I think Disneyland is going to be at that point relatively soon, just because of the fact that they were closed for 412 days.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's been really nice being able to walk around the park without my mask. To be very honest. Not that I didn't get used to it, because I did. It kind of just became like part of me, basically. But it was really freeing when I was able to like walk in without it. I was like, whoa, I get to smile at my camera with my vlogs again.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I did hear this week is they're going to bring back fireworks at Disney World for July 4th as well, which is really exciting. So
I had not heard that.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So I'm not sure. They haven't actually announced what that will contain. What's the name of the show with fireworks at Magic Kingdom again, Brian? Just remind me.
Happily Ever After.
Happily Ever After. So they weren't sure whether it was going to be that. I believe over at Epcot, there's always a massive July 4th for the fireworks.
There at Magic Kingdom, they usually have their special July 4th fireworks. That they don't have anything to do with like with regular shows. Well, the Magic Kingdom one doesn't. The Epcot one usually is they would do illuminations, not illuminations. Illuminations, reflections of Earth. They would do reflections of Earth, and then they would do like a big at the end of the
end of the show.
Big like America thing. It's really stunning.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've almost, you can see the new barges pretty much ready as well for the new show. So I'm kind of thinking that might be the date for a launch of that new show. So very excited about that. See fireworks back at a Disney park. That's just awesome news. And the other Disney park I kind of wanted to head over to now was Shanghai, because we've got a celebration over there this year for the 5th. And this is one that Chase alluded me to today, and that's the fact that they've got
just today
a few announcements coming in regards to, let me get this full screen so we can see it, of the new costumes that are coming to the park for Mickey and Minnie and some of the cast members as well. Here they are looking, I think they look fantastic. It's going to be a big celebration over there. It looks like a lot of stuff in China is back to normal as well, which is great news for Disneyland over there. I just love the fact that all over the world we've got Disney back now. It's coming back. We've got our beloved Disneyland back, and all the parks across the world are pretty much open now. I believe we still may be waiting for Paris to reopen, and Japan maybe, but they're very, very close. I've heard announcements for reopenings. So great news. What do you guys think of the new costumes? They look great.
I love them. I think they're amazing. They're colorful. I am really excited about this. They don't really think that, Disneyland has its anniversary coming up, but they really haven't said that they're going to do much about it. It would have been a bigger deal, I think, last year when the park was closed for its anniversary, which is the first time it's ever happened that it's been closed on an anniversary. They were planning to reopen on the anniversary, but California said, nope, can't do it. So it would have been a big deal then. But I think now it's just going to be, sort of it's just another day at the park, it's for
basically like a happy birthday
July.
Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So it won't be a big to-do like Walt Disney World and with Shanghai here.
Yeah. I mean,
it
certainly.
Seems like they only do the big to-do things, in Chase's words, like every 5 years or so. So.
Yeah. Yep. But look, the costumes look great. Looking forward to seeing some vision to how it all goes over there for the 5th. I'm just happy to see Disney returning, to everyone around the world. It's fantastic. Yeah. So next, I just wanted to go over to another park, which is Disneyland Paris. And last week we didn't get a chance really to talk about this, Chase, but I wanted to kind of talk about it now, and that is a new hotel they're opening up. Well, sorry, it's not a new hotel. It's a refurbished hotel that is opening up very, very shortly with the opening of the park, and it's going to be themed Marvel. It's the New York Hotel over there. This looks fantastic. There's some artists here that have done some fantastic work with Marvel. And being an artist yourself, Chase, pretty great stuff. What do you think of what's going on over there at the Marvel Hotel?
I just, I love watching these guys draw these characters that, I love so much. I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man. And so watching all of these different artists with their own different, unique perspectives on how these characters can be drawn. It's so many different styles, and they want to have so many different designs in this resort, which is cool because, you could be in a Spider-Man room, you could be in a room for Thor, for Iron Man. The art is just everywhere, and it's from all these different artists with all these different backgrounds, and it's just amazing to me to watch them draw like this. I mean, I couldn't do that in a million years. I draw fan art, but it's usually, I have to have a source in order to do this, and watch them is just so inspiring. It takes me 20 hours to draw a picture like that of Thor or whatever. It takes a long time with pencil, but that is just, gosh, look at how amazing that is. So it would be so awesome. Cool to be there, and the new merch that they have for it, like the little things like even like coffee mugs and stuff like that, which they show in here for the Hotel New York, which I just find is an interesting name for a hotel in Paris, but
really
that is so beautiful. Look at that.
Yep. Awesome. Let's take a look.
That just looks so amazing.
Yeah. True artists in every
I would
sense
love
of the
to
word.
stay there.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Let's take a look further down the video and have a look at some of these rooms in the hotel just before we move on.
Oh, that's so cool.
And here's some of the hotel rooms.
Yeah, look at that.
That suite is awesome.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so really looking forward to, that opening as well, so we can get some, footage of what's going on there. So
yeah. Let me just, I'm going to do this for the first time. It's like a little plug for me. Let me see how well I can get this here. See, now here, this is what I draw. See?
Awesome
This
work.
is what I draw.
Yep.
It takes a long time to do this. It's like, let me get over here and get vision. So yeah, this is how long it takes me to draw, like all that kind of stuff. It takes a long, long time, 20, 25 hours of artwork. So,
and if you head over to Facebook and do friend chase over there, he's often up, doing all that live, so you can see exactly what I think, and happy to chat to people while you're doing that as well. So that's fantastic, and I've been amazed by your artwork over time. So yeah, thanks. Keep doing that, Chaz, because we love seeing that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Just another talent that this person has that is really amazing. One thing we were going to touch on last week, and we won't mention what happened last week, but we were going to touch on last week that we didn't, was the absence of these little items in Galaxy's Edge. Now, is this Disney East and West Coast? Are we talking that these have disappeared from in Galaxy's Edge? Bryan, have they disappeared? Oh, okay. So you've still got them over there.
Yeah, I've seen them over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So lately, in the last week or so, you've seen them. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I know they have them at at Disney Springs at the Outpost. I have not been in the park, but I haven't heard of them not being in the park out here yet.
Right.
But I knew Disneyland, their Galaxy's Edge, I knew they didn't have them anymore. And I feel like they're probably not gone forever. Like, I feel like
no.
I don't know, maybe it had to do what's the word I'm looking for? Like expiration dates probably, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
maybe we've had a supply issue with Coca-Cola. So we're going to see them back in the park.
It's been a matter of it's all right now a issue with marketing. It's just they're not selling enough of them, and of course, when you only limit it to a single place where you can get them, and then of course it's not going to sell like something in a grocery store where someone can just pick up a case. So from what I've heard in news, it is temporary. So as soon as they can get things back, where they're getting an ample amount of people in there that would be buying them, then they'll probably start. You'll probably start to see them again in the park.
All right, that's good news because I know that a lot of people love them, and they were such a unique idea when they came out. So it'd be good to see them. Oh, look at that! Yes, look at that.
I've got mine.
Yeah, I think they were packed very well in my suitcase when I came back to Australia as well. So yeah, people do love them, and we'll be happy to see them when they do come back to Batu West. Okay, just wanted to move on now to just very quickly to a commercial that came out this week about Disney Wish. If you guys don't know, there's been a lot of press about the Disney Wish lately. It's Disney's latest cruise line. We're waiting and very excited to see a lot of new stuff that's coming to this particular cruise ship. And now they've started booking the cruises, which I believe 2022, I think spring 2022, they're coming out. And cruises have already started to book out. So you got to get in early with the Disney Wish. We were a little surprised at the pricing of the Disney Wish. We did see. I'll just go back.
Were we surprised, like, at how high it was or how low it was? Because I was surprised in
how high
it was thought.
Yeah, we were pretty surprised at how high it was, actually, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah. I kind of feel like it was, 50% higher than what we've been used to. But gotcha. I think that may fall in line as we get, a little bit further down the track. So, but yeah, look, great new innovations. We're going to get the world's first ride attraction on the cruise, plus a Star Wars cantina, all sorts of things. So that came out today, and as you can see on screen, the next thing I want to talk about is Cruella. Now, you guys haven't seen it yet, but I did see it over the last couple of days, so I just wanted to quickly say that fantastic rendition. They took it in a new direction, which Disney quite often do with the live action stuff. And here's a couple of shots from the movie. It's available now if you want to purchase it for an extra.
And in theaters.
Yeah. Oh, and in theaters. Yep. On Disney Plus. But look, I think it was worth it. I think I could rewatch it, and from my wife's perspective, she really loved it actually. So it's interesting. I wasn't putting too much money on it, to be honest, but it was quite a good movie. I think you guys will enjoy it when it becomes free to the stream later on in the month. If I were you, personally, I don't think it's worth the purchase, but I would wait for the free to stream, and I would definitely watch it. I think you guys will like it. So that was Cruella.
I will be getting Black Widow though. I'm gonna get Black Widow, but not that one.
Yeah. Well, yes, Black Widow is a different kettle of fish. We will be all purchasing Black Widow, as we would if there was a new Star Wars movie. Yes. Pretty much the same.
Oh, that's a different kettle of fish. I like it.
another. I've got plenty of Australian sayings. If you want me to pop them all out, but it'll probably
be like for me. Like I would normally say that's a horse of a different color.
Yeah. There you go. I like that one. Might have to use it. And so while we're on Disney Plus, wanted to move on to Bad Batch. So last week we didn't get a chance to talk about episode 4. So first of all, I just want to get into that. And before we get into episode 5, firstly, everyone, Chase always reminds me this. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about things that have happened and seeing Bryan hasn't seen episode 5. He might turn his volume down while we're talking about that. But Chase, take us through episode 4. What was your impressions of the episode firstly?
Really, I think again, this is the start to an even better relationship that they're all having with Omega. And we really get to see this with the relationship between her and Hunter. So now she's pretty much a part of the team. They do most of the missions with her, and she's proving herself to be very valuable where they least expect it. And it's like, okay, no, you got to stay here. We don't need you on this. Too dangerous. And she goes ahead, and just because of curiosity, she goes ahead and does it anyway. And it ends up being exactly what they needed and didn't think of. So she's that kind of, I guess you could say it's almost like the relationship between, with like Star-Lord and from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he said, why did he have me around? Because I could get in small places, and she can do that too. So she's good at that.
Yeah. And interesting to see one of our favorite bounty hunters on the show, which is great.
Yes.
I think we're seeing a lot of Easter eggs starting to come into play.
Absolutely.
First of all, what I was most impressed about is another take on the Empire, the rise of the Empire, and how it all happened, which I really enjoyed. And now with episode 5, lots of Easter eggs in this episode. We find out here, in their search for why Fennec Shen is sort of chasing them. We go on a bit of a quest here, and we sort of delve into what happened with Luke at Jabba's palace, and we see the baby Rancor, a Rancor that's a baby that we learn about will be the Rancor that takes on Luke Skywalker in Return.
I know, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jabba's Rancor. And I was like, wow.
Yep.
So what is it? Is it Mookie?
Mookie, yeah. That's right.
Mookie. Right.
I don't
Mookie
think
the Rancor.
That's the first we ever knew his name, actually, to be honest. But
right.
It's
doesn't sound as threatening when you're like, here, Mookie.
Yeah, so that was really, really interesting. It's good to have these throwbacks. You can see how Dave Filoni's connecting everything here. We're turning into a real Star Wars universe here now. Everything's becoming connected. And look, I like everyone likes that. I think it's something that really worked with Marvel, connecting the movies. And now it's really starting to work with Star Wars. And from what I hear this week, George Lucas is starting to play a big role in advising Dave as well. So that's great.
And I mean that's
go ahead.
That's typical of Dave. He's that's typical of Dave. He's kind of like an apprentice. He had that sort of like apprentice type of role. So this worked out perfectly for him, and he still wanted to have his input on stuff. I don't know how much he was able to have. There may have been some sort of agreement when they purchased, when Disney purchased Lucasfilm and the rest of the franchise. I don't know how much involvement he was allowed to have, but I'm sure that as a sort of mentor type of thing, Dave likes having George around.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And I think George will have, from what I've been reading, have more and more to do with Star Wars moving forward. I think he's happy with that too. I think George does want to have a role in what's going on, and I think that's guaranteed the fact that, which we didn't announce last week, we didn't get the chance, that David Filoni's now creative director of Star Wars. What do you guys think of that situation, of what's taken place there this week?
I'm a fan. He's done a lot of good, definitely. I don't know if it was as new as we thought. I feel like it's probably been a thing that's been a thing for a little while.
Yeah.
They just finally kind of like told us, basically. I feel like that happened a bit ago, and they just were like, "Oh, by the way."
Yeah,
But
I think it actually got revealed by some of the cast of some of the shows of Mandalorian and
yeah,
incoming Ahsoka. To be honest,
I think it's a great move. He's done a lot of good for the Star Wars fandom and community. He's brought a lot of great stories and a lot of arcs to the animated series. So I'm a fan.
yeah. And look, just moving back to the parks before we head off, because again, we've almost been here for an hour. Amazing to think. I just wanted to talk about Disneyland and Disney World. Firstly, Disney World. Just wanted to talk about what's actually going on in Disney World at the moment in terms of construction. How far we're getting. Also, and what's happening for the 50th? What do you think will be open? So let's focus in on Ratatouille. Have you heard anything new about that ride, Bryan? We know it's going to be ready for the 50th, though, right? So,
right. Yeah. The opening date is October 1st, same as the 50th.
Okay. Yep.
I haven't heard any new like updates as far as like anything construction wise or anything like that. I feel like it's probably done, and they're just waiting until October 1st, honestly.
Yeah, sitting there ready. Yep.
Exception of maybe like some little small things. I don't know, but I feel like it's basically just done at this point, and they're just waiting for the 50th, so that way they can kind of spread out the crowds a little bit between the parks, and then. Tron's coming along really nicely. That's, obviously that's not going to be open this year.
Yeah.
But it is coming along nicely. Actually, I think in that Magic Kingdom video that you were sharing of mine, if they want to go check it out, I do believe we went on People Mover and got a little shot of Tron.
Okay. Yep.
From both sides, actually, People Mover.
I'm not going to show that because I'm going to let them go over and check it out. And have a look.
Definitely. Yeah.
But that's great.
Guys, go check out that vlog. It's fun. There's a lot of fun stuff with that Magic Kingdom vlog.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then not too many other updates right now. It's been kind of quiet on that 50th front, aside from that new commercial that they gave us, which I would expect we'd probably get a couple more of those with more in it than just the really pretty colors and the icons and everything, which super cool, cool. But I'm looking for a little more nostalgia in hopefully a future commercial.
It's amazing to think it's only 4 months away, and like Chase said, I think things will be, I reckon 90% back to normal by then. So that I would
think so. I would think they're probably coming up pretty soon here on probably doing, since they already do no masks outdoors, probably pretty soon doing it indoors as well. I think they're waiting to see how it's working at a couple other places that are trying it right now, before they make their decision on is if it's too soon to do that or not.
Yeah. And so heading over to Disneyland, Chase, if I'm an out-of-state visitor and I'm going to Disneyland June, middle of June, when I'm allowed to, what do you think I should be most excited about walking into the parks? What would you be most excited about? That's new and that's existing and open. What's there to be excited about Disneyland apart from everything? I guess.
Well, I guess, it's being such a fan and being one of those, as now they're saying, you really see on TikTok and all this, and on Instagram and all this, you see the Disney adults and how they can be crazier than kids. And you know what? That's fine. I'm a Disney adult. I love being a Disney adult. And I think just being back in the park will be overwhelming and exciting. And, if I'm able to go in August, it's going to be crazy hot, but I still want to go. I still want to see everything. the biggest problem right now that we're dealing with is even though they've upped the capacity of the park, they haven't changed the capacity inside the rides. So as we saw from a couple of YouTubers, like the line for Pirates was 40 minutes and the line stretched nearly all the way to Big Thunder.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that happened.
Because they're not allowing anybody to go in the indoor queue for more than a couple minutes just to get to the attraction. And so with June 15th, I am hoping that it just means they can take off the restrictions for indoor queuing, because right now Disneyland's walkways can't handle that kind of traffic. They're winding it around in places where it's like, where's the line? You have to look for the cast member that says line ends here. And it's just, it's like, okay, where are we going? Where does this twist and turn? And it's so confusing. So once they allow the indoor queuing to happen again, and because, I've been watching the videos for It's a Small World and all this other stuff. And if you say, like me, party of one, then I get a whole boat to myself. And I was like, whoa,
crazy.
Come on, guys. I'm like, I've seen the plexiglass that has gone up in Walt Disney World, and I'm like, you could absolutely do that on all of these attractions and let people go on these rides to fill them up and move people along. Because, you could easily put, 2 people in the front of Pirates and then skip a row and then put somebody in that middle row and then skip a row. And it's just like,
which is what
get some people on these boats.
Sorry, go ahead, Bryan.
Here they just skipped rows. They didn't ever just do one party per boat. They skipped rows, and even in the very beginning, it was one party in the first row and one in the back row. So at least you had 2 rows filled. But yeah, and then like you said, they did the dividers, and that helped a lot. But now those dividers are coming down here. So
right, and it's helped with it's helped with getting people on the attractions. But the biggest problem has been the Disneyland Railroad. And now the rules are you can only board in Toontown. You can get off at any stop on the way, but you have to get off at Toontown after one full rotation. So you board at Toontown. You can get off at New Orleans Square. You can get off at Tomorrowland. You can get off at Main Street.
Get back on
but
any of those.
If you ride the whole way, they make everybody get off at Toontown, because what was happening is people were waiting at the station and no one would get off. So no one would get off the train, and so they couldn't let any more people on.
Yeah.
And so they're not adding the dividers. They're not no plastic shields. They're not doing any of that. And so people weren't getting off the train. So they're like, now you absolutely have to get off at Toontown. And Toontown is the furthest from the park entrance. So it's a bit of a walk to make it over to Toontown Station.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's even slightly further than Galaxy's Edge. So it's just a little bit further up. And I was just like, man, they need to figure out a way to get the train going, because you'd be able to get on the train on and off all day, but now they've had to cut it back to about like 2:30 p.m. or 3 o'clock p.m. is when they stop running the trains. And that's like one of the most iconic things. That sound and seeing that train throughout the day is just it's part of like the magic.
Do you think those sort of restrictions will keep out-of-staters away until maybe October, when things are looking a lot better in terms of lines and restrictions inside the park? Do you think that will stop them from coming?
Absolutely not. I think they're going to flock to the park just like they did for California residents. I think they're going to be come in drones. As long as, you know, you can get a reservation, people are going to come. And if anything, it'll just be another trip for them to see it when they do open up everything. So it'll just be another trip. So
because with locals, I mean, if they
that's
miss
what I do.
If locals they miss something, they can just go there next week and concentrate in on that. But when you're talking about out of staters, they probably, you know, if they go there once a year, they're lucky. So, you know, would they, you know, I get the feeling they might just wait around a little bit longer, so that, you know, if they go down for a week inside that year, they're going to get everything done. But you know, what's the park capacity at the moment, for example, at Disneyland?
It's about 30 to 35% right now for Disneyland. Since they went into the yellow tier, it's been pushed up. But that's the problem with the waiting in line, because even though the park capacity went up, the ride capacity has not. And so it's still at its original, like, you know, 20, 25% of being inside, having people inside an attraction. And that's what they need to do. If they're going to up the park capacity, they need to make sure they're getting people on the rides more so that they don't fill the streets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So when they fix that, everything will be perfect.
What's the official park capacity over there at Disney World, Bryan, at this point? Have they got a restriction on park capacity?
Last I heard, it was 35, you know, officially, but Bob Chapek, he didn't give a number, but he did say it is higher than that, and he said it's gradually going to be getting higher.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But never gave a specific number, unfortunately. So,
officially,
I would say 35%, but it's probably more like 45 or so, like from my personal opinion and being there personally, it feels more like 45 to 50 right now.
Yep. Great. Well, guys, once again, we've been online more than an hour. So much more we could talk about. I think we've summed up the week pretty well, though. I hope, look, basically, guys, we're trying to get you, the viewer, fully informed about Disney, and hopefully along the way we can help you out in terms of knowing before you go to the parks, and telling you what we think you should watch and enjoy in terms of Disney and Star Wars. But that being said, before we go, I just want to mention that down below, linked in the description, will be a link to D-News Jam, DisneylandToday.net, and also Bryan's Magic Life. Go over there to those platforms, check them out. We also have a Facebook group. Go over, check that out. It's at Magic Partners Live. We also have an Instagram account. There's lots of great photos being uploaded by Chase. So go over and check that out. That will keep you up to date and informed. Have a chat to any one of us over there or on the Facebook group. And we've got a Twitter account now as well. So head over there and join us on Twitter as well.
We're all over the socials, guys. Come talk to us.
The three of us here are always in touch with Disney. So if you've got any questions, you're traveling to the park, you want to know anything, just let us know. We're always on. We're happy to answer any of those questions. So absolutely. Until then, hopefully we'll see you on platforms. We're going to be back again next Saturday, same time. So look forward to that. I'll be posting on those groups to let you know when that's going to happen. I'll also be posting a replay of this in case you missed it. So until then, guys, we'll see you next Saturday, and see you real soon, everybody else. And we've been Magic Partners Live. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.